Welcome to the Soap Thing Project. Before we start today's shave, I just want to mention that I plan on doing an episode of Soap Thing Thoughts where I answer questions from my viewers. I've done an episode like that already, but I think I want to do another one. So anybody that has a question or something they're curious about and would like it answered, go ahead and put it in the description of this video, and I will circle back later and gather all those up and do a video all about those. So just wanted to address that, get that out there for people to submit questions in the comment section of the video. For the actual shave we're doing today, it's going to be a Murphy and McNeil shave. I haven't done one of these in a while. This one is a sample called Kells. I can't remember if I have covered this on the project before or not. I have covered a sterling version of this scent. This is inspired by Dior Sauvage. I've done so many videos at this point, I can't remember what I've covered already. So if we're doing a repeat video, hey, whatever. But yeah, Kells, based on Dior Sauvage. It actually smells almost exactly like Dior Sauvage. Murphy and McNeil did a good job with this one. If their goal was to exactly recreate that scent, well, they definitely did it. This is Aeon soap base, which is beef tallow and duck fat. And let's see here. This is $2.99 for a half-ounce sample. One of the things I really like about the way Murphy and McNeil does samples is that they have these resealable pouches. So instead of those tiny little capsule things that you get from a lot of other vendors that are selling samples, this I think is a much nicer packaging for a sample, that's for sure. And you just tear this top part off and then open it up like a plastic baggie. It would help if I had fingernails. There we go. Oh, nice. I have a full-size tub of this back in the States, and I forgot how good this smells. I don't have a matching aftershave for this. I do back in the States, but not here. What I do have, though, is Klein Defy. This is a designer aftershave that I got on clearance from FragranceNet. And this is in the same category of fragrances. It's a blue fragrance. We'll talk about what that is here in a second. And this is Calvin Klein's attempt at that same style of fragrance, so just keep that in mind. The razor is going to be the very same Yates Titanium Merica razor, 6AL4V titanium made by Yates Precision in Pennsylvania. I wouldn't plan on seeing me doing a wide variety of razors on the channel. I've gotten to where I pretty much know what I like and what works, and I'm just going to keep using that. So if you're expecting a huge variety of razors, I wouldn't plan on seeing that too often. So do keep that in mind. This is going to have a Gillette Nasset blade go into it, fresh Gillette Nasset. I had one that I used on the last shave, but I then turned around and shaved my head with it, and whenever I do a head shave, I immediately throw that blade away because there's so much real estate up here to shave that it pretty well destroys a blade right then and there. And the brush is going to be my Shavemac Finest Badger 22mm Blue Pearl. Okay, let's do it. So I have had a string of problematic lathers, both on and off camera, and I'm starting to think that this brush is responsible for it, because I've noticed that in most of the lathers I did where the shave kind of went wrong, it was using this brush. Like I did a recent shave with Martin de Condre Original, And I did a palm lather for that one, and I ran out of lather and pretty much didn't have enough to do a second pass, which I can guarantee you with practically any other brush that I have, I would not have had that problem. And even this, here we have the Murphy and McNeil Kells lathered into the Hendrix Classics and Company stainless steel bowl. And I got plenty of lather. That's not the problem. The problem is it's foamier than it should be. So this is the first 22 millimeter low density Badger brush I've had where if that's what the problem is, it's the first one I've had where it just doesn't lather worth a crap. It's kind of weird. So maybe I need to mix up my shave brushes and see if that might be what's responsible for those issues. All right, let's put it on the face. Scent strength on this, 4 out of 5. It's kind of a loud one. I would say it's just creeping into 4 out of 5 though on the sniffle-meter. It's not a solid 4 out of 5. It's just barely creeping into robust scent strength on the sniffle-meter. I used to have a 3-tiered scent strength scale, and then I went to 5. The reason I don't do 10 like a lot of other people is because 10 I think is too specific. Because I could say, oh, it's an 8.5 out of 10, and then somebody's going to be like, oh, I think it's a 7.5, versus 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 covers a lot of range. So if anybody's curious about that, that would be why. This is closer to normal than I thought. I don't know. This brush is starting to make me question it. I got that particular Badger knot because it was cheaper than a 2-band like Silvertip. But this the quality of lathers I've been getting lately suggests that maybe that wasn't such a good idea. Okay, here is the Yates Titanium Merica razor with a first use Gillette Nasset. Here we go. Wonderful. For my particular shaving habits, this seems to work out pretty well. All right. Pass number 1 done and over without a lot of trouble. Let's lather up for pass number 2, and then we'll talk about the scent. So like I said, this is inspired by Dior Sauvage, which is kind of the quintessential blue fragrance. Blue fragrances are, well, hard to categorize. It's usually scents that are slightly citrus, slightly aquatic, ambroxan heavy, mass-pleasing, wear it all the time in any season kind of fragrances. They're like ultra safe, and that's kind of what they were all going for. The initial fragrance that made this category start to become relevant was Bleu de Chanel. Bleu de Chanel got the ball rolling on this this category of fragrance becoming popular, and then Dior Sauvage took the ball and just vaporized it. It was and is insanely successful. It's one of the best-selling fragrances in the world right now. I'm starting to notice that this brush is a better painter than a sprayer. It's almost like there's nothing in the center to work into your face. Like the lather is quick to evacuate out of the center of the brush. It almost behaves like a larger knot. It's not like it's eating the lather, it is just displacing it whenever I really push it into my face. I don't know, this brush is weird. I was doing fine with it before, but now I feel like it's giving me problems. Anyway, that's enough. Who knows? Okay, so what does this actually smell like? Well, the scent notes are bergamot, ambroxan, geranium, lavender, vetiver, patchouli. I think there are actually more notes in Dior Sauvage itself than there are in the scent dupe. So, but this is, you know, it's a citrusy, sweet, slightly floral. There's a lot going on in these fragrances. There's a bunch of notes that come together to just make this kind of a bubblegummy, sweet ambroxan ambergris. Ambroxan is a synthetic ambergris. And so that's generally what you get, is it's like this woody ambroxan citrus mess of a fragrance. I say that only because I think these scents lack character. As you get to be in this hobby more and more, or even if you are a fragrance connoisseur, you're a collector of fragrances, after a while you start to get resentful towards the likes of Bleu de Chanel, Dior Sauvage, Versace Dylan Blue, Yves Saint Laurent Y. Those are all similar examples of the same style of fragrance. I would never tell you that it doesn't smell good. That's not the issue. It's just when you spend so much of your time just smelling things, you know, for the sake of science, you get to where scents like these just aren't doing it for you. Because it's what everybody is wearing. It's what everybody likes, and it's just painfully safe. Like, anymore, I want to wear a fragrance that I have to have a particular composure in order to pull it off. Wearing something like this almost feels like it's cheating. I think that's a good shave. Yeah, feels good to me. All right, Calvin Klein Defy for the aftershave balm. Really now? Okay. And I think I used too much. Well, let's just slather it all around. There we go. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, good shave to me is what it looks like. Okay. Murphy and McNeil Kells. Could I recommend this for a purchase? Yeah, I'd say this one is fine. One thing I will say about it, though, is I don't think you need this and, like, Sterling Deep Blue Sea. Or some other blue fragrance dupe. I think one is enough. And if you already have one, scent that is duping Versace Dylan Blue or Blue de Chanel or Yves Saint Laurent Y, or maybe even have another Dior Sauvage dupe and don't even realize it. There's a lot of redundancy in this category of fragrance. So I would say you're not missing much. If you already have something similar to this, I would pass on it. Just my personal opinion. But if you don't have something like this and you're trying to ease your way into that kind of fragrance, well, this is one way to do it. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, questions, comments, put them in the comment section of the video. Otherwise, until next time, this is Soap Thing telling you, shave like you mean it. Thanks for watching.